In today's fast-paced world, it can be difficult to maintain focus, cultivate passion, and essentially make progress towards meaningful goals. Timecodes, The Art of Focus, offers a comprehensive roadmap of unlocking your inner potential to live a life of fulfillment and purpose. I read this insightful book and distilled its key takeaways into 7 essential principles. So the first principle of The Art of Focus is attention with intention. Whenever you're focusing on something, you need to see through it through the lens of the goals that you're pursuing. Because how we're really conditioned to think about focus is that focus is simply paying attention to something for a long period of time. But what we need to realize is that focus is like a muscle that fatigues with time. The longer we pay attention to something, the less and less we're going to be able to focus on the thing. So you need to be extremely deliberate. You need to be very careful to where you're putting your focus towards. So Danko argues that in this book, you need to have goals that you're pursuing and your focus needs to align to your day-to-day actions where you're going to get closer to your goal. So if you have a goal of trying to be very, very healthy, then your focus needs to be poured into acquiring education and doing the day-to-day tasks to actually get you to that goal. If you're forcing all your focus onto things that's not helping you push towards the goal, then honestly all you're doing is you're fatiguing yourself without getting closer to the goal. Having established the importance of focused attention, let's delve into how to cultivate a deep-rooted passion to fuel your journey. Quote, "Most people think that they find their passion when in reality they create it by investing mental energy into a goal." The essential principle number 2 is that passion isn't exactly found. It is cultivated through your experience of trying to solve your everyday problems. By investing mental energy into the goal as you get better and better in that is essentially how you build passion for that particular thing. The thing is, we are often told from a young age that we need to find our passion, but how many of us really find that passion? How it often works is as we kind of go through life, as we get better at certain things, we tend to find little areas of our life that we are more inclined, we have an affinity towards trying to master. And understand this, passion and purpose, it is really something that evolves with you. As you continue to acquire new skills, as you get better, as you gain more experiences, your passion and purpose can change with you. The reason that most people can't find their passion is because they're simply just thinking and waiting for it. But in order to do so, you have to do the work. That is how you start to find passion and purpose in your life. With a burning passion ignited, the next crucial step is to harness the power of strategic learning and execution. Quote, "If you're lost, the answer is education. If you're educated, the answer is execution. If you're executing, the answer is consistency." The third principle of the book is that success is a process of continuous learning, executing, and consistency. I personally made the biggest mistake of stopping my learning once I got a full-time job. What I found was that once I started working, I stopped trying to learn, I stopped trying to improve, and that's where my progress started to stagnate. Because the book really argues that as you're going through life, you need to start educating yourself. It starts with education through the lens of a goal. So whatever it is that you're trying to pursue, whatever problem that you're trying to solve, you want to make sure that you're educating yourself to figure out the solutions to that problem. Then as you start to take actions and you repeat that again and again and again and you remain consistent, that is how you start to make progress and eventually be successful. The path to success is paved with unexpected challenges, and that's why it's essential for us to use failure as a stepping stone and not to see it as just obstacles in our way. Quote, "Failure is feedback in disguise. It's the world's way of telling you to adjust your approach." A core concept of The Art of Focus is how important failure it is to your progression in life. In fact, the book argues that if you're not constantly facing failure, then you're not really making any progress towards your goals. Because it is through failure that we gain clarity on our goals. It is through failure that we figure out what are the lessons we need to learn in order to keep on pushing forward. Many people like to see failures as setbacks in their life, but we need to think about them as more valuable life lessons, right? When we start to see failure in this way, as we see them as stepping stones to us getting closer to our goals, we can approach life a little bit more excitedly. We're not so afraid of doing the day-to-day things, and we're not afraid of taking risks. In fact, if you look back at your life, most likely your greatest achievements all come from failure first. When you fail, that preps you in order to gain the lessons you need, gain the skills you need in order to be successful. But it has to start from failure, and you cannot quit when you do eventually fail. Having overcome the hurdles of failure, you can now start to explore how to design a life of intentional freedom, where your choices really align with your deepest desires in life. Quote, "Most people have dreams of being the CEO of a successful business, but haven't managed to be the CEO of their life." This is such a powerful quote from the book because I find that unless you can really solve your life problems, then you can't really focus too much about things that is outside of your control. It all has to start with you. Because what often happens is that we are bombarded by so much information, by social media, television, telling us what we think we need. But when we really look internally, we will start to see that the things that we want, the problems that that we face, those are the things we need to make sure we are focusing on. As we continue to solve those problems, we start to see more and more pieces of how we really want to live a life. The book argues that as we solve problems in our life, that is essentially how we start to design the life that we truly desire. Maybe you're someone who's struggling with finances, with health, but as you solve these problems, you are going to be freed from the problems that's coming from the two. So what you want to do, or at least what the book argues you should do, is that you should be focusing on the problems that you have. Because as you do so, you're going to gain more freedom and your life will become closer to your ideal lifestyle, the ideal life that you want to live. And what you're going to find is that your lifestyle of intentional freedom is not just going to be all about vacationing and not doing anything with your life. You're going to find a way of life where you personally feel intrinsically motivated to do the day-to-day things that you have to do. You're not forced to a 9-to-5 job. You're not forced to do a career that you don't want to do. You can actually start to design a lifestyle where you personally want to do that. And it all starts with you solving your own problems. Now that you understand the foundation of what it means to build a life of intentional freedom, we can now look into the 6th essential principle, which is mastery is a lifelong commitment. Quote, "At the edge of the known, with one foot in the unknown, is where we are the most alive." This is one of my favorite quotes from the book because it really gives us an idea what it means to live a life of fulfillment and purpose. When you live a life constantly trying to do better, to challenge yourself, to go into the unknown, is where you will find the most satisfaction. Because many people see life as this very finite thing. You're just trying to get to a certain endpoint, make a certain amount of money, go on that certain vacation or do all these little things. But life essentially is an ongoing game. It's an infinite game. You want to keep on playing it, which means all the things that you're pursuing is going to be a lifelong thing. The mastery of things like relationships, health, wealth, business, your purpose, all these things are lifelong commitments that you have to have this mindset when you're approaching it. So the book argues that in order to constantly improve, we need to put ourselves in a situation where we're constantly being pushed to our limits. Because what I often find, or at least my experience, is that once I get pretty comfortable, once I achieve really, really big goals, I tend to kind of slow down and stop. I like to be comfortable. And again, this is a very common thing among human beings. We like being comfortable. We don't like to tackle challenges. But the book argues that if you want to keep on improving, if you want mastery over life, over the many domains of life, right, you need to keep on pushing yourself. So the book argues that constantly having that challenge, always having the ideal and the mindset that you need to keep on challenging yourself is absolutely essential to live a life of fulfillment. Now that you understand that freedom is more of a journey, not so much as the destination, we can start to explain and understand the concept of the new rich. Now, the new rich is this concept where there's a subset of human beings, right, a subclass of humans, where they are able to leverage their creativity to create things online that's valuable to people and essentially make money from it, right? They essentially started huge businesses online where they can escape the rat race, escape the 9-to-5, and this is a very advanced component that I think will benefit a lot of people. Quote, "To become a value creator is not a business model, but a way of life." Essentially, the book argues that as you solve the problems in your life, your job is to start to document all these things, how you're solving things, and systemize it in a way so that if someone wants to follow your path, they are able to do so with a step-by-step method. If you're able to package this in a way where it's going to be valuable to other people, say you're trying to figure out how to be healthier, how to figure out your diet and exercise and all this, and you have a very particular way of doing stuff and you're able to package it in a way where it's exciting for someone else to do it, you can essentially do that and make money off that. Obviously, there's going to be some people that's going to pursue the goals that you want to pursue. So if you can help them get to where you are a lot faster, then that can be something that you can do. You can continuously improve on your life while helping other people. And there's never been easier to do that because of the power of the internet. Anybody can start putting content on the internet. Anybody can start documenting things as long as they're pursuing the skills and knowledge in order to do so. So this is more of an advanced concept of the book, and this is why it's so important to understand all the other things before this component. As you continue to solve your problems, as you go through the game of life, as you slowly inch up and level up, that is how you're going to gain the skills necessary to become this whole new rich, right? To basically create a way where you can leverage your creativity to find financial freedom. That's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and check out this video over here for more content just like this. As always, my name's Christian Wan. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the very next one. Later.